On December 4th, 2024, a single gunshot outside a Manhattan hotel didn't just end one man's life. It started a national conversation about healthcare, corporate greed, and whether violence can ever be justified in the name of justice. This is the Luigi Mangione story, early beginnings. Luigi Nicholas Mangione entered this world on May 6, 1998 in Towson, Maryland, with every advantage money could buy. Born to Louis and Kathleen Mangione, Luigi wasn't just privileged, he was legacy privileged. His paternal grandfather, Nicholas Mangione, had built an empire from nothing. Starting in a one-room apartment with an outdoor toilet, Nicholas climbed his way to owning country clubs, healthcare facilities, and even a radio station. The Mangione name was literally carved into Baltimore. Everywhere you looked, there was evidence of this family's influence and generosity. They had donated over $1 million to the Greater Baltimore Medical Center alone. But Luigi's story begins not with business deals or charitable donations. It begins with promise. At Gilman School, an all-boys private institution where annual tuition can reach nearly $38,000, Luigi wasn't just another rich kid coasting on his family's name. He was brilliant. He played soccer, ran track and cross country, and wrestled. But it was his mind that truly set him apart. While other teenagers were playing video games, Luigi was learning to code. While they were consuming technology, he was creating it. By graduation in 2016, Luigi had earned the highest honor a student can receive, valedictorian. His graduation speech wasn't about parties or summer plans. It was about artificial intelligence and technology's impact on society. Even then, at just 18 years old, Luigi Mangione was thinking about how technology and power could shape the world. Ivy League years. The University of Pennsylvania welcomed Luigi with open arms, and he didn't disappoint. During his time at Penn, Luigi earned not one, but 2 degrees, a Bachelor of Science in Computer Engineering and a Master of Science in Computer and Information Science. His undergraduate studies included a minor in mathematics, while his graduate work focused on artificial intelligence. But Luigi wasn't content to just study. He founded a video game development club, worked as a teaching assistant, and completed research internships. During the summer of 2019, he served as a head counselor for Stanford University's Artificial Intelligence program in California. One of his most notable internships was with Firaxis Games, where he worked on Civilization 6. The irony wouldn't be lost on anyone following his story years later. After graduation in 2020, Luigi landed a job as a data engineer with TrueCar, a digital car marketplace. It was good money, but for someone with Luigi's intellect and ambitions, it felt like a dead end. Data engineering paid super well, but it was mind-numbingly boring, Luigi told a former classmate. He wanted to spend more time reading and doing yoga. So in February 2023, he quit. Instead of finding another corporate job, Luigi chose a different path. He headed to Hawaii to a co-living community called Surf Break in Honolulu. It was a place where digital nomads, entrepreneurs, and free spirits gathered to live cheaply while pursuing their passions. He co-founded a book club and seemed to be finding himself. But Hawaii would also be where Luigi's life took a devastating turn. Luigi had always been active. Sports in high school, staying fit in college. His body was one thing he could count on, but a surfing accident in Hawaii changed all that. RJ Martin, a close friend from Surf Break, watched Luigi struggle with severe back pain that began to dominate his life. The background image on Luigi's social media showed an X-ray of a spine with metal hardware, evidence of the spinal surgery he underwent in July 2023. Medical experts identified it as treatment for spondylolisthesis, a condition where vertebrae slip out of alignment. For months, Luigi battled the pain. On Reddit, he posted about chronic back issues and brain fog. Luigi told friends the surgery went well, that he was taking 0 pain meds and hadn't had a bad day since the operation, but something had changed in him. The book club he'd started began losing members who felt uncomfortable with his book choices, The Disappearance. In early 2024, Luigi told friends he was going backpacking for a while. He traveled through Asia, visiting Japan, Thailand, and other countries. His social media posts from this time showed someone searching for what nobody knew. But then the posts stopped. His last activity on social media was June 2024. Friends began reaching out. By November, Luigi's mother was so concerned that she filed a missing person report with San Francisco police. The family hadn't heard from him since July. What was Luigi doing during those missing months? Where was he? And most importantly, what was he planning? The target. While Luigi Mangione was disappearing into the shadows, Brian Thompson was living in the spotlight. As CEO of UnitedHealthcare, Thompson commanded a corporation worth hundreds of billions of dollars. But with great power came great controversy. UnitedHealthcare had become synonymous with denied claims, medical bankruptcies, and the dark side of American healthcare. Stories circulated online of people dying while fighting for coverage, of families losing their homes to medical debt, of a system that seemed designed to extract profit rather than provide care. Thompson, as the face of this system, had unknowingly painted a target on his back. December 4th, 2024. It was 6:44 a.m. on a cold December morning in Manhattan. Brian Thompson was walking to the New York Hilton Midtown, where UnitedHealthcare's parent company was hosting its annual investor meeting. He never made it inside. A masked gunman approached from behind and fired multiple shots. Thompson was hit in the leg and back. He collapsed on the sidewalk as his attacker calmly walked away, disappearing into the maze of Manhattan streets. The entire attack was captured on surveillance cameras, showing a chilling level of premeditation. This wasn't a crime of passion or a robbery gone wrong. This was an execution. But perhaps most disturbing were the details discovered later. On the spent shell casings, investigators found 3 words written in marker: delay, deny, and depose. Those words sent a chill through corporate boardrooms across America. They represented the 3 Ds of insurance, the tactics companies allegedly used to avoid paying claims. It was a message written in brass and blood. The manhunt. Within hours, the NYPD launched one of the largest manhunts in recent memory. Security footage showed the gunman's escape route. He'd fled on a bike through Central Park, then taken a taxi to the George Washington Bridge bus station. For 5 days, the investigation consumed the nation's attention. Tips poured in from across the country. The FBI offered a $50,000 reward. The killer's image was everywhere, a masked figure in a hooded jacket, carrying what appeared to be a 3D printed gun. The breakthrough came from an unexpected place, a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania, 280 miles from New York City. On December 9th, 2024, a customer at the McDonald's noticed someone who looked familiar. The man, sitting alone at a back table, wearing a blue medical mask and staring at a laptop, bore a striking resemblance to the images police had released. The customer alerted an employee who called police. When officers arrived and asked the man to lower his mask, they immediately recognized him. But this wasn't some hardened criminal or career killer. This was Luigi Mangione, valedictorian, Ivy League graduate, member of one of Baltimore's most respected families. When they searched him, police found evidence that would seal his fate: a 3D printed gun with a silencer, fake IDs, and most damning of all, a handwritten manifesto. The 3-page document Luigi carried would provide a window into his mindset, and it read like the work of someone who had thought long and hard about his actions. "To the feds, I'll keep this short because I do respect what you do for our country," he began. "To save you a lengthy investigation, I state plainly that I wasn't working with anyone." But it was what came next that revealed Luigi's true motivation. Frankly, these parasites simply had it coming. A reminder, the U.S. has the #1 most expensive healthcare system in the world, yet we rank roughly number 42 in life expectancy. United is the largest company in the U.S. by market cap, behind only Apple, Google, and Walmart. He concluded with chilling certainty. Evidently, I am the first to face it with such brutal honesty. The manifesto revealed someone who saw himself not as a killer, but as a revolutionary. Someone who believed the system was so broken that violence was the only language it would understand. What happened next shocked law enforcement, politicians, and corporate executives across America. Instead of universal condemnation, Luigi Mangione became a folk hero. #FreeLuigi spread across social media platforms, shared over 50,000 times. Fundraisers raised over $1 million for his legal defense. When he appeared in court, supporters gathered outside cheering, but perhaps most telling was the response to the crime itself. Social media exploded with anger, not at Luigi, but at Brian Thompson and the healthcare system he represented. Stories poured out from people who'd been denied coverage, bankrupted by medical bills, or lost loved ones fighting insurance companies. Public opinion polls revealed a nation divided along generational and political lines. A December 2024 poll found that 43% of Americans viewed Luigi unfavorably, while 21% saw him positively. But among younger Americans and liberals, those aged 18 to 29 were far more likely to view him as a hero than those over 45. In April 2025, Attorney General Pam Bondi announced they would seek the death penalty, calling Luigi's actions a cold-blooded assassination that shocked America. When the FBI contacted Luigi's mother before his arrest, she told them the shooting was something she could see him doing. Most chilling was a quote Luigi included. "Violence never solved anything" is a statement uttered by cowards and predators. When all other forms of communication fail, violence is necessary to survive. On December 19th, Luigi was extradited from Pennsylvania to New York in what became one of the most dramatic perp walks in recent memory. Surrounded by heavily armed officers and accompanied by Mayor Eric Adams himself, Luigi was paraded before the cameras. But instead of looking defeated, he appeared defiant, his head held high as supporters cheered from behind police barriers. As we conclude this story, one question lingers. How did a privileged young man with every advantage in life become an alleged assassin? Was it the chronic pain that consumed his days? The disillusionment with the healthcare system that failed so many? The isolation of losing touch with family and friends? Or was it something deeper? A fundamental belief that sometimes violence is the only language power understands? Perhaps Luigi Mangione represents something larger than himself. Perhaps he is a symptom of a society where inequality has grown so vast, where corporate power has become so unchecked that violence begins to seem like the only solution. Or perhaps he's simply a young man who lost his way and made a terrible choice that destroyed multiple lives. Brian Thompson's family, his own family, and the families of everyone touched by this tragedy. The truth, like Luigi himself, remains complex and contradictory. A valedictorian and an alleged killer. A folk hero and a terrorist. A victim of chronic pain and the accused perpetrator of ultimate violence. In the end, the Luigi Mangione story isn't just about one man's fall from grace. It's about a nation grappling with questions that have no easy answers. As Luigi sits in his cell, awaiting a trial that will determine whether he lives or dies, these questions continue to echo through our national consciousness. Because regardless of what you think of Luigi Mangione, one thing is certain. His actions have forced America to look in the mirror and confront some uncomfortable truths about who we are and what we've become. And sometimes that reflection is the most frightening thing of all.